So I knew this would happen, but the plans changed. Last time I spoke to you, I just come out of my oncologist appointment where he said the plan was that we were going back on paclitaxel, doing the desensitization for 6 weeks, and that he was pretty sure that I could do it at my local hospital. A week later, he rang me back and said, I have to go to Canberra, which is not what I wanted to be told. And to be really honest with you, there were a lot of tears straight after that phone call. There were tears later that day. There were tears the next day, because this plan means that the rest of my year, I have to go to Canberra every week. It's only 6 weeks. That's what I keep telling myself. It's only 6 weeks. But it is 6 weeks of going to Canberra, which is 3 hours away from me, to spend a whole day having treatment. So usually with paclitaxel, on the weeks that you just have paclitaxel, it's like a 1.5 hour transfusion for a bag of paclitaxel. My paclitaxel is now going into many bags. If you're new here, I had a reaction to it on my 3rd dose and they took me off it. I've just done 4 rounds of 3 weekly AC treatment instead, which was meant to be later, it got brought forward. And so now that's why it's 6 weeks of paclitaxel. So I'd already done some, and yeah. So the plan is that the night before I take a lot of drugs, then the morning of I take a lot of drugs, and then they give me the paclitaxel so slowly. So over 6 to 8 hours. The idea being that when they give it that slowly, your body doesn't have the same allergic reaction and it can tolerate it. We'll see how that goes. So with it being 3 hours away, it's looking like Mum and I are going to go up the day before, stay the night. I have to be at the hospital at 9 a.m. and then I'm there like all day. So probably till like 5 o'clock, which then means we'll stay the night and then drive home the next morning. Thankfully, we're headed into summer. Days are getting longer. There's more sunlight. Possibly at some points we might be able to, sneak up a morning of or come back the night of. But I already hit a kangaroo driving to Canberra for a different medical appointment at the start of this year. Yeah, trying to get to Canberra on time, and it was just daylight and it was unavoidable. Like the kangaroo hit me. It just bounded up out of nowhere, straight into the side of my car. So I've already had to repair my car once this year from doing that drive and being hit. I don't want to do that again. Also, I'm going to be feeling pretty crappy. I think it's safe to assume. Definitely like the night of, next day. Honestly, it's hard to say exactly how I'm going to feel. The second time I had paclitaxel, I ended up in emergency twice with fevers and being really unwell, covered in a rash. The third time I had paclitaxel, I had a serious allergic reaction. It's hard to say how I'm going to be feeling, but granted to say, probably not very well. So I'm not looking forward to any of this. The only silver lining in it all is that if everything goes to plan, which I'm not counting on that at all, don't worry. But if it goes to plan and my body tolerates the paclitaxel, I should finish chemo the week before Christmas. I love Christmas. I want to feel well at Christmas. I want to be able to eat properly at Christmas. So fingers crossed that at least that part of the plan goes smoothly. I want this chemo stage of life to be over for Christmas. My neck was all red.
It's redder than what you've
last
had
night.
Lately, isn't it?
Yeah. After hours exit.
Oh dear, thank you. Oh, day in there.
At least it's daylight savings and it's not dark.
Yeah.
So yesterday turned out to be a long day. Everything went well, no reactions. It was good, but we got to the hospital at 9 a.m. and we left at 6:45 p.m. So it was a very, very, very long day. There was a little bit of a delay in the pharmacy at the cancer center making up the bags of paclitaxel that I needed, because instead of one bag of like a standard paclitaxel, I went through 3 bags of diluted paclitaxel, and then they drip fed that so slowly. Like, I cannot even explain how slowly this drug was given to me. And so what happened was there was a printed piece of paper with my protocol on it. And the first person who had set it all up into the infusion machine had folded that into 3 parts and sat it on top of the machine. So then the other people that I was working with, and this is like a very, very busy cancer center. They've got 80 patients a day, we found out from one of the nurses. So very busy. You get multiple different chemo nurses doing all their different jobs. Somebody accessed my port, somebody like set up the drip, somebody administered my pre-meds. Like, there was lots of different people involved. So one of them has sat my protocol on top of the infusion machine, folded. And then so the other nurses and myself are looking at it, thinking that that's all we need to get through. Turns out when you unfolded it, there was more. So, which was fine, but it just meant that my infusion ran over their normal working hours. So they all finished at 5. So then 2 nurses stayed behind overtime to just finish it off for me. So that was great. But they've left my port accessed, which I've never had before, but it's been fine. So it just means that the needle is in there, and then this cannulary thing that they access it with is still there. Because I'm going back today. So because of the timing, they couldn't do my immunotherapy, so my pembrolizumab and my carboplatin that goes with the paclitaxel, the other chemo drug. So I'm headed back in there today. It should be like 2-3 hours max, not another whole day. But my mum had to run into the shops and bought me this shirt because I didn't bring any clothes that, apart from the shirt I wore yesterday, that could be port accessible. So mum ran into Big W yesterday, grabbed me a new singlet, nice with a nice low neck and this nice button up. If you have a port and you're going through chemo, button ups are great, because even once this is hooked up and accessed, you can get the button up on and off if you're like too hot or uncomfortable, whatever. I found the same with like zip up jackets when it was cold. But yes, outfit courtesy of mum running into the shops at 7 something last night so that I didn't have to wear my dirty clothes from yesterday. I'm feeling quite well. I don't know if it's all the pre-meds. Like, I took 50 milligrams of Pred, which is a steroid, the night before, 50 milligrams of Pred yesterday morning, then got into the cancer center and got dexamethasone, which is another steroid through this. So many steroids. So I'm wondering if that's why I'm feeling so well. But on a positive note, I slept last night pretty well. I woke up, I was tossing and turning, like I wasn't the deepest sleep ever, but often when I have these many steroids, I don't sleep at all. So calling that a win. I am sitting in the car waiting for mum to just run into the supermarket once again. It's the day after treatment, or the second day of treatment back home, and it's McHappy Day. So I have jumped in the car with mum because I am going to get my Big Mac that I do every year. I always support McHappy Day. I used to do some volunteering, some overnight volunteering at their Canberra Ronald McDonald House charities building. And so anyway, I always support that charity. So I'm feeling surprisingly well. I've got none of my like reflux digestive issues today, so I am Big Mac ready. But yes, it ended up being quite a long day too. We got to the center, so it should have taken maybe 2 hours with the 2 drugs I needed to take. But there was a mix-up with the doctor. The oncologist hadn't approved the treatment to go into the next day because it should have been the day before, but then we didn't fit it in, so that hadn't been approved. So they needed that to get ticked off, which took ages. The nurses were great, like all of the staff there were amazing. But the head nurse, chemo nurse lady was just like calling all these different doctors trying to get someone to tick off to say that I could have the treatment on a different day. And then once that got approved, the pharmacy had to give them the green light, the tick to go ahead. Even though we had the drugs there ready, it would like through their computer system. So then that took ages. So we got there at 9:30 and didn't start the infusion until after 11. So yeah, really, really pushed things back. So I think we got on the road to start heading home at around 2. Got home just after 5. So 2 big days, very busy, not busy, a lot of sitting around. But I'm feeling well, tired, very just want to sit around, lay around and do not much, which is working out well because it is a miserable rainy day. So perfect weather for sitting around, not doing anything. But aside from the fatigue, I don't really have any other symptoms. Touch wood, it stays that way. I've been pumped full of so many steroids and drugs. The pharmacy guy rang this morning just to check how everything was going, and he also just reiterated that fact that as I come off the steroids and those drugs, that I might hit a bit of a slump tomorrow, the next day, might have a few more side effects, but we'll just wait and see. So far, so good.